Hey guys, what's up? I'm Jules. Hope you're having a great week. It is March 22nd. It is March 26th. It's my mom's birthday. Why did I say it was the 22nd? I don't know. Oh my gosh, it's been one of those days. So happy birthday to the mom. Yay. She's going to be out here with my uncle, her brother, obviously. They're coming out first week of May, so that's going to be awesome. It's going to enjoy having them come out and stay for a handful of days or so. So that'll be pretty cool. But yeah, so a lot happened this week. This is going to be a longer video, I think. I'm going to kind of ramble. I hope my brain's working better than it has. This is like the third time I've started this video. I keep messing up. So I'm going to show you what I've done stitch-wise, and it is a lot. Like, I could say I may have done close to 2,000 stitches this week. Pretty sure that's about what I stitched. A lot. I got a lot of patterns done, caught up, and I just stitched a lot. So let's start first with the one that's closest to being done. So we've got the mini Colorado Mountains. As you can see, I only have this little section down here, but I love the way that it's kind of filled in with the blue mountain with the white snow. That's pretty cool. Let's see, I am 87% done with this one. There's about 630 stitches left. So that's a couple sessions of stitching for me. Usually when I stitch these smaller ones, if I can get like 300 stitches done in one sitting for it, then okay, I can stop and I can wait and do it the next day. So we'll see. It wouldn't surprise me if I do like 535 stitches just so I barely have anything to do the next time I sit down. That I can see myself. I've done that before. So next up is my mini frog, who is also coming along lovely. I stitched a lot on this kiddo again. I think I want to say it was like 600-700 stitches on this one. 79% done and 1,100 stitches. So this next week, unlikely, but the week after, absolutely. Sometime early April, we'll get this one done. The goal would be this week, mini Colorado Mountains. The week after that, this one. And then maybe the week after that would be the gnome. My grumpy gnome, who's like me. I've been kind of grumpy lately. Like lately meaning today. So got our grumpy gnome. I got all the way over. Now he has both ears. Well, I don't have all of his ear kind of outlined, but his hat comes all the way out to the sides. This is easily as wide as it's going to be. And then it's going to start working its way back in. But I got about, I think, another like 600 stitches on this one this week. And let's see, where are we at with gnome? 38% done. And a little over 5,600 stitches left. So this is a 25 count, like an off-white, not really sure, bone white, or just bone, I'm not sure, I can't remember. 25 count. I'm actually 10 stitching this baby. And you can't tell, can you? Because I'm doing 2 over 1, but I'm just doing a 10 stitch, aka half stitch. So there we go. There we go. And then for the one we're all waiting for, Old World Map 2. How many stitches do you think I stitched this week? How many? Patrons, you don't say anything because I might have told you guys. I know I told you guys how much progress I was making, but I don't know if I told you the final number. Done with your guesses? 900 stitches. Now, if I actually did that every week, I'd be done with this thing like in 5-6 years. But that's not going to happen. Let me tell you. I just felt like stitching. But yeah, I just stitched a lot. I worked on some pattern stuff, but then I jumped in and I just couldn't stop stitching. Listening to some books, listening to some podcasts, good stuff. All right, so let's show you guys what getting that many stitches done in 1 week looks like. And a lot of it, it's basically just, most of it is just right here and this edge here with just a little bit over here. And I didn't work on any of the confetti over there. I'll get to it. And so, but yeah, it's coming along super nice. So I did the calculations and I need, okay, I got to make sure I get all my numbers right here. But, all right, so let me tell you exactly where I'm at right now. I am at 65,767 stitches. I have stitched a little over 3,900 stitches just this year. That is awesome. That is really cool. Because that's like, that's a lot. So the, where's I put the numbers down? So if you go all the way across, count how many stitches does the first row contain. So you start, and go all the way across. It's like 90 by 270. 90 by 270, is that right? Oh yeah, that's for total stitches. So 90 by 91, no wait, I did 990 by 71 was my calculation, and it came out to 70,290. So 70,290, so it's like about 4,500 stitches. 4,500 stitches, is that right? Yeah, I guess that's about right. So I still think it's going to be May. I mean, I'm close enough now that I may just kind of start stitching on a lot, but I need to finish these other things because I still want to start up even more patterns and stuff. I didn't even work on the mini monochrome. I can't believe that. I just kind of set it to the side and I was just working on all these other ones. Sometimes once you pull a pattern, you know how it is. You pull a pattern out and you start stitching on it and kind of forget what you were working on before. That's crazy. I think I blanked out there for a few seconds. I'm not sure if I did. Oh man, my brain. Okay, so pattern-wise, my stitching talk as far as what I'm going to stitch. For now, I think I am. We'll talk about that at the end. All the new patterns that I have, it is kind of crazy. So I went back and just kind of made sure that I have mentioned every one of them at least once. I may repeat myself here, or I may have shown a picture. I'm sorry, I just moved my feet. I may have shown a picture of it last week when I didn't really talk about it. So, like we talked about, or maybe we didn't talk about it and I just thought about it, I'm going to have different levels of my monochrome patterns so that you don't have to sift through everything just trying to figure out, like, well, is this a little one? Is this the big one? And how big is the big one? And so, so pretty much the way I'm gonna work it, and I'm gonna do it in I'm trying to think of. I should probably go ahead and do it on Etsy too. I'm definitely doing it on the website. It'll just be easier to have premium, medium, mini. So premium is going to be like the absolute best design that it can be. It doesn't mean that it's going to be exceptionally large. It's just the normal large that I would put out, and it wouldn't bother me if I say had a, patterns that are 20,000 stitches and above. Actually, it's probably going to work out to like 13 or 14,000 stitches and above. But I call those premium because those are usually the best looking ones. So you like your walkway, your staircase, but even things like the French Bulldog. But the medium patterns are all kind of like, most of them are falling like between like 7,500 and 9,500. So I feel pretty comfortable labeling those medium ones. And then the minis are coming out to like 2,000 or less. I think I might have one at 3,000, but that's an unusual one. But the rest of them are pretty small. So let's go over all the ones that I added. And let's see, let me just talk about we'll start with the monochromes. So the first one up, I think I talked about this one, Vintage Baseball. I'm doing a mini version of it. I'm trying to think if there was another version, I can't remember, but there's a mini monochrome version. There's actually also a mini color version, meaning I think I used 8 colors. It's 100 by 60. It is not full coverage, so it's sort of like a very light sepia tone, so little light tan, little light blues, that kind of, I mean, it's definitely kind of a classic vintage look to it. So but there's that one, and then the actual monochrome one, that one is 120 by 70, and it's got 1,871 stitches. So that's actually even less than that might be one of the fewest, one of the smallest patterns that I have. I also, let's see, okay, there's those two. And then for the medium monochromes, I'm reissuing 2 different patterns as mediums. Reissuing, like, I'm keeping the premium out there. Like, there's the Sleeping Cat is one of those. One of my early designs with monochrome. It's a larger pattern, had it out for quite a while. And went in and basically was able to really kind of shrink it down. I cannot off the top of my head remember like how large it is, but I dramatically cut down on the number of stitches needed. So as it stands right now, it's about 272 by 162, but it only needs like 30% of the stitches that the larger pattern did. And I want to say it's like 8,000 or something like that. Like the original Sleeping Cat had a lot of stitches. This is a lot less. So, and now let me throw this out to you guys, the ones that are still here and listening to this. If you have bought a very, very large monochrome from me and you're looking at it, you're like, wow, I'd really like to have the medium version of that. I will provide that to you at no cost. All you have to do is email me with what you bought, like either from the Etsy store or the website, and just tell me which one that you bought it from. And then if I can just verify that you guys did indeed buy the other one, I can send you the normal medium at no charge. So please feel free to do that, because if you haven't started those, or maybe you have started those and you're like, dang it, Julie, my gosh, Jules. And so, you know, I know I keep coming out and doing things and making more work for myself. It's just how it's going. So speaking of making more work for myself, so I took the elephant. I think we talked about the mini elephant before. I have a mini version and I have a mini, I think it's a mini colorized version. Yeah, it's the same kind of style as the baseball one. The baseball one. This elephant though only has less than 13,000 stitches, and I think that's like, again, like 30% of what the original was. It's 308 by 189, still a decent size, but it's just not nearly as many stitches. It's not as detailed, it's not as premium. So let's see. All right, so those are the medium ones. So the premium patterns, a lot came out. So I think I showed you guys the bagpipes, which is kind of just another in my musical instrument series. Those out there was at least one person that asked for a trombone. I am still trying to find the right picture for a trombone, because there's lots of smooth lines. There's not a lot, you know, like with a trumpet or a lot of things, there's like a lot of different intersecting lines and stuff. Well, a trombone is just like this curving piece of metal, basically, or whatever it's made out of. You know, it doesn't look great when there's just not much to it when you try to make a pattern. I'm still working on it. I got to find just the right picture though. So, all right. So the bagpipes. Anyway, so it's 177 by 237. So here we go. All right. And then next up is Steampunk Cat. So I teased this one, but I'm just now showing you guys it. All these are up on the store, so they're available right now. Steampunk Cat is 247 by 300, looks like. So sweet. I can't remember all these numbers offhand. I have to write them down. All right, then we did the latest in the tarot card / zodiac sign series is Scorpio, which I just like this period just because of the whole scorpion thing. It looks really cool. So and it's not terribly big. It's 188 by 2. Oh man, maybe it is 296. I was thinking it was 236, but I think that's a 9. That could be a 3. You can check it out and see. So that one's out. And speaking of the series, so I've done Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, Gemini, Aries, Cancer. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've done 6. So the 6 left. And I don't think I have Aquarius even close to being ready yet. But Pisces could be thrown out there. And I'm actually working on, it's either Capricorn or Sagittarius. Which one is the ram? Is that Capricorn? That's probably Capricorn. And then Virgo. So they are coming out. And like I said before, when they come out, I can do the whole like premium line in a series. And then if I can make minis, if I can make good minis, that's probably going to be a cool thing. Alrighty, so there's that. Okay, so how do I say this? Okay, I've got three patterns, but two different images to show you. The next one is another mini, Mini Ali, Muhammad Ali. Now, I used to have this pattern in the store. I can't remember if it was a monochrome or if it was, I think it was a grayscale, but it was a larger picture of his, like his body and whatnot. But I was able to get this picture and just bring it down to the bare bones, like what you guys, remember with Muhammad Ali. I'm the greatest in the world. So I'm distracting myself left and right, because you know what the thought that came to my head when I said that was the last time that I've seen him, which was when the Atlanta Olympics opened, and he lit the torch at the very end. I was living in Georgia at the time, so that's why that always flashes in my head. But yeah, Ali. So I got a mini one, and this one has 13 colors. So it's 135 by 120, and it is not full coverage. It's just him. So whatever you'd like to put around him, it'll look really cool. But that one, I'm really happy with the way that one came out. Then finally, to go along with the ghostly cellist that we had from a week or two ago, now have the ghostly guitarist. So very similar line. There is a more of a premium, I'd say premium, like a mid to low premium maybe. It's 220 by 235 with 19 colors. So that one I like. Now, then when you shrink it, it actually makes his face look a little bit different, which is okay. Still looks, ghostly. But the mini is 130 by 140. And the reason why I still call this a mini is because, again, it's not full coverage. It's just the guy that you can sort of see right there, and that's pretty much it. So less stitching. Oh man, I gotta get the grabber. It's a good thing I have the grabber right here. This is what I'm using for. There we go. I can pick up a needle off the floor. I can pick up a needle is probably the most sunflower seed. I think the needle is the most impressive thing that I've picked up so far. So that's pretty good. Anyway, sidebar. So the mini is 130 by 140, but it's not full coverage. So that one can get stitched a lot faster. And that would be very interesting to see what kind of, I can almost envision like a green kind of fabric, maybe even like an orange, like a burnt orange kind of fabric, to set behind the mini version of the ghostly guitar. So, all right, between Daphne and I, we have gotten up 26 patterns. It's the 26th day of the month, and we've gotten up 26 patterns this month. That is crazy. But that's the kind of the clip that I wanted to do. I had a lot of things on the back burner that I just was struggling to kind of get up and bring and post basically and list. And Daphne's been just awesome with that. And there's just still more. I think I have there's 6 in the queue, and I've got 4 loaded up right now that I'm kind of working on all at once. But I just, now that I've made myself a lot of work by, hey, let me go back to this monochrome and see what I can do with it. See if I can make it a medium or make it a mini or whatever. And so they're not all going to work, but I think a lot of them will. And when that happens, I think it's going to offer a lot more variety for you guys. So, okay, I think, tired. I think that's it for all the stitching stuff. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. I am sleepy today. So, busy week so far. Yesterday, so Monday morning, I went and met my physical therapist for my first therapy session. And it basically is just all stretching and very minimal stretching. Just lay on your back and kind of lift your legs and do the different things and just try to try and get limber. And I am so tight because I wasn't able to stretch very much before surgery. And I'm so tight, so it's uncomfortable. And my muscles hurt the next day. It's like second day soreness from just stretching. That's so sad. So yeah. So, and today I had X-rays this morning, and I haven't seen them come over email or anything. But I'll see the surgeon again on Friday. I said tomorrow and Wednesday and Thursday mornings I'm going to be back at work for, I hope, at least 2 hours. you know, let's see how I feel. You know, kind of go, we'll just kind of play it out and kind of just work me back in, you know, so we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I think that's it. As far as like the stuff going on around the house, we had another 3-4 inches of snow yesterday morning. That was kind of cool. So I had the big goal for last week, which was to go through the Shopify, or I say Shopify, but it's the website. And I needed to go through every single pattern that was in the store, and I had to change something on every single one, and there were just a lot of little errors everywhere. And so I went through it all, and it was 340 patterns. Now I delisted 15 or 20 at least that either needed too much work, most likely just needed too much work, and I was like, I just don't have time to get those done right now, so I'll remove them and then I'll come back and fill them in. So if there's something that's not on the store that used to be on the store, it's likely coming back. It's just in the queue for trying to get things done. So something else there's a couple of things that I want to throw out there to you guys that I've been thinking about. One is I would love to have a design, or how should I say, I have so many of these that I could be doing, but I would love to have a way to create patterns meant for certain size hoops, depending upon, you know, 18 count, blah, 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 whatever, 6-inch hoop or whatever. The problem is I haven't like really sat myself down, which I really should just do that, and figure out like on the program how wide and how, you know, like what would actually, not just exactly, but a little bit more. So there's some, so when you tuck this in, the pattern completely fills. Yeah, I need to figure that out. And so how to do that, because I have a lot of patterns that I haven't released because they're of the circular variety, and I'm like, before I release them, why don't I just try to, I have released some before, but maybe I just, if I could just tell you guys, like, because it'd be cool if I knew that if I got a, you know, whatever 6-inch hoop, that I'm like, oh, this, if I use 18 count fabric, it'll be perfectly in here. So that would be really cool. So I just have to figure that out and do it. I know. Alrighty, so I watched Ronnie's video, my buddy Ronnie Rowe, and he was showing off his red bench pattern, which, gotta say, Ronnie, that looks so cool. I can't wait to see what the red looks like when you get that stitch. So, but I love those blues that you're using. So it's a very pretty piece, pretty pattern. Let me just see here. I wrote down some notes while I was on it. So you should really watch Ronnie's video. But today, when I was watching it, one of the things that I didn't know about it, well, I guess maybe I just never asked, was the Woodlawn embroidery show. I'm going to say embroidery show or needlepoint show, or it's not going to be cross stitch show, is it? I don't think so. But in Virginia, it's Arlington, I think. And no, Alexandria, Virginia. And so it's like a big to-do fancy national judge show, and it's a pretty prestigious thing. And Ronnie's won awards there before, but he was talking about just like in anything else, but even more particular with these guys, that when you're stitching a project to submit it for any of these, you know, things. Now, see, in my mind, I think that the design is like, wow, look what I did, but the ribbon is not for cross stitch design. It's for what is being stitched. And that one time years ago when I submitted one of my pieces that I had stitched, and I got third, like I think I got third out of 3 or third out of 4. I know it was because the quality of my stitching was not good enough. Now I know that, and so because I'm like, I'm not a meticulous stitcher. I'm not a perfectionist when it comes to that. My pieces are usually so large that, you know, you're not going to see the little thing that maybe I didn't make this perfectly square, or maybe there's a little piece of thread sticking out that you can see, or whatever that is. But he said, yeah, they really are they're very much sticklers for the quality of the pattern. And so Ronnie had mentioned, and I think I've said this once before, but this is one of my easy and cheap methods to solve this particular problem. So you worry when you're doing a monochrome if you're stitching on white fabric, will the black thread show through the white fabric? Depends on the quality of your fabric. You still may get, depending upon like if you I don't know, if it's just a particularly long piece of thread that may show up from behind the white Aida. But yeah, I'm sorry, I had like 5 thoughts there at the same time. Oh my gosh. I think I'm just so excited about going back to work tomorrow. So, yeah, you just have to have a really nice piece of Aida. But when I've had issues, I've had like, I should have thought ahead, and I should have gotten down my French Bulldog, because I think that's a good example. But even the Empire State Workers, so when you're looking at my cross stitch, you shouldn't be able to see the black. And the reason for that is not because I'm like this amazing stitcher. I'm a lazy stitcher, just like me. I'm a lazy stitcher. But I will use this highly technical and very expensive device that makes the black thread behind the white fabric invincible. Bum, bum, bum. It is pretty inexpensive method. Maybe some might say amateurish. I'll take that. I'm an amateur. I'm an amateur when it comes to that. But you just tear off a little piece, whatever piece, and if your thread is nice and tucked in there, you just tuck it right underneath. Put the frame on it. I haven't had anything fall apart. Then again, I don't necessarily have them vertical all the time now. They're kind of being stored horizontal. But for the time that it was vertical, you couldn't tell. You couldn't tell if they were there. And that's what I usually tell people. I'm like, you know, and I couldn't tell if there was a piece of white. Like I could not see the paper behind the white Aida. Just couldn't do it. But one of the things that Ronnie mentioned in his video as far as fabric quality is to understand that there is a place for this, and there is definitely, like, if people just don't care and they want to go get like a Charles Craft from Michael's or Joann's or other, like, we've all seen those whenever anybody's been to Hobby Lobby or whatever. The vast majority of the time when you're buying like a roll, say, of white Aida or something like that, or any kind of Aida, it's not the best quality. And I would say actually probably across the board, nothing there is of the best quality, because it'd be so, I shouldn't say it'd be so expensive, but you know, they're just looking for ways to kind of, you know, improve their bottom line. So they just order in a cheaper product and it's out there. Now I've gotten that fabric before because I'm like, wow, what a deal. Let me get that. Oh man, it's so not worth it. To me, it's not worth it because I think I'm more aggressive on my fabric, but you know, it just doesn't look good. And you can tell because you can kind of see through it a little bit more if you kind of, even something that's framed, sometimes you can still kind of see through it a little bit. It makes the threads on the other side just that much more visible. But I've got to bend my legs. Oh. So anyway, so yeah, so if you're not sure, you know, Winchell, Zweigart, that's what I usually, you know, get. But a lot of times, honestly, anytime I get like a bulk white Aida, I ordered so much like a couple years ago, but I think even before they were starting to have those issues with, like there was a point where fabric was really hard to get during COVID. And I had so much because I had preloaded so many patterns. I was like, I'm going to do this pattern and this pattern and this pattern. And then as things evolved, I just didn't do them. And I just had this stack of Aida. So I've been working through it. And so I'm almost at a point where I want to go grab some just basic stuff, but not quite there yet. But I always just call up a stitching shop or email them. I actually email them and email Christine and be like, hey, I need 18 count white Aida. Give her the stitch count. Tell her how many inches all around I want to take off or I want to add. Good to go. So, but that's what I would do. I mean, if you want to make sure that you got like good quality fabric, I want good quality fabric. And I gotta tell you, you can truly tell when you're stitching on stuff that is cheaper than others. You can tell. So, All right. I think that's it. The only thing I want to say one more thing about Ronnie. Ronnie, what are you using those CDs behind you for? You got a stack of them, and then you got some still in the case in the back. What are you using those for? That's crazy. I mean, does anything take CDs anymore? I think our car might. So outside that, I don't think I have anything that plays CDs. So, man, it was a long video. My brain is clearly not working. But I get to go back to work tomorrow. Real light, super light work, but probably standing a lot. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, other than that, I think we're good. I'm just looking around to see if there's anything that I've forgotten, which I don't think there is. Outstanding. You guys have a great rest of your day. I hope that you get a lot of stitching done and that, whoops, and you don't break your stuff like I tried to right now. But anyway, I hope you have a great day. Take care.